Q&A.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Alrighty, welcome to part 2 of this ECW-themed Q&A here at the Unlimited YouTube channel Facebook page, the Unlimited One Twitter page. And if you want a question answered in a future Q&A video, please go to the description box down below with the details on how you could submit questions. I will say with full confidence that you will be getting a Wednesday sports Q&A and a Friday wrestling Q&A. The Friday wrestling Q&A is going to be WCW-themed. So if you have a question relating to WCW, please post them below or on the Twitter page, the Facebook page, or PM me wherever. Without any further ado, this is Q&A 39, part 2 of the ECW-themed Q&A. And as I look at the questions list, the remaining questions all come from Dylan Rumor, so you're gonna get all of yours answered right now. Mike Awesome or Shane Douglas? Probably Shane Douglas. If he didn't throw down that belt, if he didn't do what he did to split ECW up from the NWA, then ECW would have probably been mediocre and irrelevant like the NWA is today. Let's see. Who was the greatest ECW television champion and why was it RVD? Well, great question and a great answer. Yes, it was RVD. At the time, the television championship was even more important than the world title, and that was because RVD held it. The guy is Mr. ECW, no matter what you say. What did RVD 420 say? I think you know. Would you say the ECW crowds are the most loyal crowds? Yeah, I don't think there's really that much of an argument against that. I mean, there weren't big crowds, they weren't in big arenas, but wherever they were, they sold out. And no matter the circumstances, no matter the environment, I remember Paul Heyman saying that ECW did a show, I can't remember where, in what arena, but they said that it was like 100 degrees in there, and they were wrestling, and they had just fans blowing on them, so at least they can keep them semi-cool. But they didn't care about the arena, they didn't care about the conditions, they just cared about ECW and the wrestling. So yeah, I would say that they're the most loyal crowd. How great was the Tazz and Sabu feud? Different. Really damn good. Really, really damn good. One of the company's greatest feuds. Or the Sabu-RVD feud, for that matter, coming from Tyler Harper. Yeah, that was good too, but I would probably put Tazz and Sabu above them. Was there anyone better at getting heat from the crowd than the Dudleys? Honestly, no. Not on ECW. People underrate just how much the Dudleys did for ECW. They were the top heels. And when a tag team is the top heel, or the top heels, of the company, you know, that's something different. That's something we don't get today. And back then, that was the norm. The Dudleys did a lot for ECW. I don't know why they don't get the praise. Which irrelevant member of the Dudley family was the best? I bet your answer is Big Dick Dudley. Well, yes, it is. Mine is Dances with Dudley. I really don't care. How great was the annoyance of Fonzie? Sometimes a little bit too annoying, but yeah, it was pretty good. Best match in ECW history. No, I'm not going to name any of the RVD Jerry Lynn matches, so don't ask. But in terms of great ECW matches, even though it wasn't the greatest from a wrestling perspective, Barely Legal 1997, the Triple Threat main event, where Terry Funk finally won the ECW title, would probably be my answer for what it signified. You know, Terry Funk finally got that big moment, he finally got that big spotlight, and it concluded a night that originally wasn't even supposed to happen. It was incredible. Barely Legal 1997 was incredible. And that's all props to everyone involved. Most underrated match in ECW history. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to go with the WWE's ECW. I'm going to go Christian and Shelton Benjamin in a ladder match for the ECW title. That match was really damn good. But in terms of the original ECW, I don't know. Most overrated match, any of the RVD Jerry Lynn matches. I'm sorry. They were good, but they weren't that good. They were not that good. I could skip a few of them, honestly. They're not that good. So, yeah, they were good matches to watch, but they weren't great. Walter Main actually asked another question, and I missed it. Could a feud like the Sandman versus Raven work in wrestling today? Oh, no, not in the WWE. In the WWE? Oh, hell no. If you put that in the indies, it could probably work. But once Vince gets his hands on that, oh, hell no, that's not going to work. Screw that. I mean, honestly, that feud itself was really, really good. And, you know, it was a personal feud that we don't really get today. So, but excuse me. In the PG era in the WWE, that probably won't work. If you did that maybe in the Attitude Era, or maybe even the Ruthless Aggression Era, or if the WWE did manage to rebrand into some other kind of Attitude Era, it could probably work. But in today's WWE, especially if Vince gets his hands on it, it's not going to work. If you put it on the indie scene, like I said, or if you even put it in TNA, then maybe it could work. But for now, it can't. Why was the BWO the best faction in pro wrestling in the 90s? Because they were entertaining, and they didn't get stale, unlike some other world order in some other company. How wonderful was Kevin Thorne? Next question. How happy are you that ECW gave us one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time? And yes, I am speaking of New Jack. Oh, New Jack. Oh, New Jack. New Jack, New Jack, New Jack, New Jack. That guy was a nutcase. And he was the epitome of ECW. Because he was everything that ECW represented. It was basically a group of rebels that went out there and did whatever the hell they wanted. So New Jack, you can say what you want about him. Yeah, he is a nutcase. He is violent. He's had his problems. But I don't think anyone else represents the meaning of ECW in terms of being extreme than New Jack. Do you feel that they crossed the line when Raven crucified the Sandman in the middle of the ring? And a follow-up question from Tyler Harper, how different would ECW have been if they didn't lose Kurt Angle because of that stunt? To me, pro wrestling and religion should not mix. It should not go together. If anything, that's kind of one thing you should skip on, is religion. When you cross pro wrestling and religion, it's like crossing politics and religion. It's just stupid. It's just not a good match. How different would ECW have been if they didn't lose Kurt Angle? He would have been a great signing. It would have gotten a lot more eyeballs on the product. But, yeah, if they didn't lose Kurt Angle, they may have been in a better spot than they were. What else? Dylan Rumor again. Who was Mr. ECW? Excuse me. RVD. ECW Mount Rushmore. This is the last question. ECW Mount Rushmore, excuse me. RVD, Dreamer, Sabu. I may get hate for this. I'm not going to put the Sandman up there. I may go Raven, because Raven did a lot of good with ECW, especially considering the feuds that he had, the promos that he cut, and just the character. Just his character. Paul Heyman's greatest creation was Raven. It's kind of a shame WCW didn't do more with him, but that's another story for another time. But yeah, I'd go RVD, Dreamer, Sabu, and probably Raven. If I had to take one of them out for the Sandman, it would probably be Sabu. Just not Sabu, excuse me. It would probably be Raven. But for now, yeah. Thank you all for sending in questions for this 2-part Q&A. This was Q&A 39. Friday will be Q&A 40. And Wednesday will be Sports Q&A number 2, so post questions for that. Again, Friday's Q&A will be WCW themed. Depending on the number of questions that I get, it'll probably be only 1 part. I may split it up into 2 parts. But, yeah, just post questions down below. If you have a suggestion for a video that you want me to do, please send it my way as well. I will say confidently you're going to be getting a lot more videos over the next couple of weeks. I am bringing back the Unlimited Awards series, and voting for the awards has begun. There will be a link to where you can vote for them in the description box down below. Otherwise, it's been fun. It's been real. Goodbye.